Hey there everybody, this is Lee with Creative2xmom, and today I'm going to be sharing with you what is in our January morning basket. So we are in our spring semester and it's the first week of school. We've been doing school for about 4 days now, and I wanted to share with you what we have included into our January morning basket. I felt like January was kind of a hard month to plan. December was pretty easy. We did a couple of light read alouds, we did some fun activities. January, we're trying to get back into the routine, and I still wanted to keep it fun, and I wanted to explore some topics that we haven't explored before. But we don't have extreme weather, we don't have a lot of snow, we don't have any major like party holidays that we celebrate in January, and we're trying to get back in the routine after the holidays. So this was kind of a tough month for me. What I decided to do was focus on our typical curriculum. We're going back to the medieval history. We spent December traveling Christmas around the world, so we're going back to our castles and medieval history and all those things. We are also going back to our earth science, which we're working on atmosphere and that sort of thing right now. But I thought what I would do to keep this fresh, to keep it new, is that we would also start talking about Arctic animals. We would talk about winter weather, although we don't have a lot of winter weather. Those would be some of the topics that we would explore in this morning basket. So let me take all this apart for you and kind of go topic by topic and share with you what we've got going on this month. Now, one of the things I always try to include in our morning basket is some sort of poetry, and this book is called Winter Lights. It's a season in poems and quilts. I love this book because each layout has an illustration done in quilts, and my daughter was pointing out to me this morning, she's like, it's like origami. And I said, you know what, you're right. The way they create the shapes to create an overall picture is very similar to origami. It's just absolutely beautiful. So it exposes my kids not only to the poetry, but also to a different art form that they may not be aware of or even think of it as an art form. So this was a fun book that we are using as part of our poetry for this month. In our science textbook, we're going to be talking a lot about atmosphere, and I really struggled with finding books that were about atmosphere necessarily. A lot of them moved into weather, so there was bits and pieces of information in them, but not quite what I was looking for. So we will be using a few weather books here and there. But to enhance our science, I picked up a few of these books. This is the Kids' Winter Handbook. I just picked this one up from the library, and I was really delighted with everything that I was able to find in this book. Ideas for activities, ideas for things that you could bake, things that you can make, activities that you can do either inside or outside, and they are all winter themed. I love this mask, isn't that fun? So this is one of those things that I'm going to include into our morning basket, and I'm going to try to grab a couple of the activities throughout the week that we can do together. My kids love to feed the birds, feed the squirrels, the whole thing, so those will probably be some of our first experiences. I would like to do snowshoeing in our local park. I think that'd be a lot of fun. See if I can get my kids interested. This is Starting Points Winter. This is for kind of a younger age. We started flipping through it today. I don't know if we will go through the entire thing because it does seem to be younger, but it has some good information. I really liked this page about the budding branches. There's some information about animals that don't hibernate throughout the winter that was new to us. And of course, more ideas for things to create and decorate. We're going to be talking about some different major animals throughout the next couple of months, so I thought I would take January to focus on penguins. If you saw my post earlier in the month, I will link it down below. It was for homeschool days and holidays in January, and there is a penguin day in January. So I pulled a couple of books about penguins, particularly this one, The Life Cycle of an Emperor Penguin. I love these Bobby Coleman books. We're going to spend a little bit of time learning about penguins, the different parts of the penguins, and I will also link down below a penguin lap book and craft that I found that I'm going to do with at least my two younger ones. I will probably put it into our morning basket so that my older one can do it as well if he'd like. but I just thought this would be a fun way to learn. If you wanted to take this a step further, you could read Mr. Popper's Penguins, which we love and we have read in the past, or you could watch the movie. The book and the movie, very, very different from each other. And then I grabbed this book, Arctic Lights and Arctic Nights. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen a sneak peek of this cover. It follows in sort of a diary format. The different days are listed above. This one's fall equinox, and so that's noted. The time of the day, the sunrise, the sunset, and then there's some information. When we finish our Winter Lights poetry book, I think I will slide this in because it's just very, very short bits of information. And for me, it kind of has that same feel, like the poetry of nature, that same easy, gentle feel to learn with. Picture books for this month I struggled with because I wanted to get all the picture books from the library. They all looked cute and fun. A lot of these are geared toward my younger guy, but my older kids like to listen in as well. This one's Winter Dance. Over and Under the Snow. We read a similar book called Over and Under the Ground, I think, in the spring, so I'm excited for that one. And this one was recommended, The Snowy Nap by Jan Brett. And then we're going to go into some of our everyday history topics that we have been studying all year. This is Miss Frizzle's Medieval Castle. My kids have been begging me to read this for months and months, and we love Miss Frizzle. We love the Magic School Bus, so I know that this one is going to be a lot of fun, and it's sure not to disappoint. Just previewing the pictures, I know we're going to have a great time with this one. We also have a book called I Wonder Why Castles Have Moats and Other Questions About Long Ago. This will be in our morning basket. We'll just read 1 or 2 pages a day. I love these little books that give a taste or a preview of the lesson that we'll be doing that day. It keeps my kids interested all day from the time they do the morning basket till the afternoon when we do our history. You guys know I love my Professor Noggins. The Earth Science in the Medieval Times will of course be part of our morning basket, again starting in January. We are doing a short read aloud in the morning. Typically we do our read alouds in the evening, but the chapters on this are so short that we have been reading 1 or 2 in the morning. It's called Tornado. I thought this would be a fun way to transition into weather. And our read aloud in the evening is The Black Beauty. Now for our Bible, I'm still struggling a bit. I purchased this book back in November. I added it to our morning basket for just a few days, and I pulled it for the holidays. And now I'm not sure what I'm doing with it. It's the New City Catechism. I wanted to do something like this with the kids where they were getting the tenets of the faith. So with the question, the answer, and the verse that backs up why that's the answer. I'm not sure if I want to have them just memorize the verse, if I want to have them memorize the question and the answer, if there's some other way we can do this. I have looked for other resources. If you have any ideas, leave me a comment down below. I have an 8th grader, a 6th grader, and a 2nd grader. So something that at least the older 2 could do, and then my 2nd grader catches what he catches. I don't know. I want to go through something like this with the kids, but I'm just struggling with how to present it and how to go about it. So this will go back into our morning basket and we'll see where it goes. So that's the majority of what's in our morning basket. A little bit of medieval history, a little bit of poetry, lots of winter animals and weather. I'm also going to link a blog post down below where I have included a bunch more resources, ideas for documentaries that you can find on YouTube, ideas for books about weather and Arctic animals, ideas that are just for fun. Like I said, we are going from, you know, really wintry weather, Arctic animals, and we're going to be transitioning into different types of weather. So that's why I have things like tornado. And in that blog post, you will find ideas like how storms are formed, that sort of thing. So I hope you will check it out. What I had tried to do in the blog post was put a lot of older student resources, a lot of older kid stuff. So although I think picture books are really good for any age, a lot of the documentaries and the stuff that you will find in the blog post are geared toward older kids, more of probably high 3rd, 4th grade on up through 8th grade. So I hope you will check that out below. I think morning baskets can be used for a variety of ages, and that's why I really wanted to focus on the upper grades in the blog post and make it something that any homeschool mom can look at that and be like, yeah, that's a great way to start our day, even with older kids. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and check out some of these resources. Don't forget to check out all those links down below, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.